Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Here it is. We're back. It's the Believe You Me podcast. I am Luis J. Gomez, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake real estate dude himself. He is the Count Michael Bisping, wearing a Believe You Me t-shirt where you can get it at merchpump.com.
I'm glad you mentioned that because never in my wildest dreams would I wear a t-shirt with my own face on. Hold on, look.
Look at it. It looks good.
I mean, that's a handsome devil on that shirt. I'm not going to lie. But generally, I don't like to walk around wearing my own face all over my chest. But I just thought I'd let the people know. The T-shirts are available. As you say, what is the website? Merchpump.com?
Merchpump.com. You can grab these T-shirts. And we have a couple new designs that we're working on right now. This is just a traditional classic podcast logo shirt. We're going to have some really, really cool designs that are going to be coming out very soon. Yeah. So please keep on checking back. We're going to keep on plugging that.
So Monday morning, hope everyone had a great weekend. Lots and lots and lots to talk about. UFC 225 at the weekend, of course. Crazy fights, amazing main event between Yoel Romero, Robert Whittaker, and a stacked undercard as well. We're going to break them all down, get into them. Lots of fun, lots of controversy. Where do we start, Lewis?
I mean, I think we got to start back even before the fights even happened. Friday, Yoel Romero misses weight. I think how many times this? 2 or 3 times that he's missed weight?
Well, it's 2 title fights in a row. Obviously, the last fight against Luke Rockhold, that was for the interim title fight, title belt, and he missed weight, I think, by quite significantly. I think it was 3 pounds almost. So he missed weight there. In his defense, though, it was a short, it was a short notice fight. That is somewhat in his defense. I mean, at the end of the day, if you are offered a fight, Am I centralized, so to speak?
No, you could be a little bit to the other side. Your instinct was wrong there.
There we go. Yeah. Part of the deal is if you take a short notice fight, I'm still not. There we go. Beautiful. Part of the deal is if you take a short notice fight, is that you got to make weight. And that's one of the things that you contemplate and give consideration to prior to taking the fight. He didn't miss. He didn't make weight for the interim title fight. Whatever. It is what it is. He knocked out Luke Rockhold, and he would have been the interim middleweight champion of the world, which is nice. But he wasn't going into this fight. And then, of course, we had the fight at the weekend, and he had a full camp for this one. So no short notice excuses. And he missed weight. But it is a complicated situation, and I am somewhat lenient towards Yoel's circumstances because initially he missed weight on the first attempt. He weighed in at 186. Normally that would be fine, but for a title fight, it has to be 185. So then they said you have 2 hours to go away and make the rest of the weight. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is what I was led to believe when I worked with Fox at the weekend, the commission went to check on him and see how he was doing. And upon seeing the state of him, the physical state that he was in, they decided to say we're not allowing him to cut any more weight.
Really?
And when he got on the I believe that's what happened. And then when he got on the scale, he was 185.2. So 0.2 of a pound. I mean, it's not a lot of weight to lose. Of course, it is when you've already cut 20 odd pounds. But still, it was the commission. Again, if I'm mistaken, I apologize, but I'm 99% sure it was the commission that said he's not cutting any more weight. Get him on the scale now, and he was 0.2 over. So I do sympathize with Yoel Romero that it wasn't necessarily his fault. I'm sure he would have made the weight had he been allowed. So it wasn't strictly a title fight for Yoel Romero, which sucks for him. Of course, he had to give Robert Whittaker 30% of his purse. I'm not sure what his purse is, but still 30% sucks. He had to give Rockhold 30% of his purse last time as well. So
that's like
losing 30.
Probably like an entire town in Cuba. I don't even know what the exchange rate is, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. No, and I know nothing about the Cuban economy either, Lewis, but I'm assuming you are right. But it sucks for Yoel. That does suck for Yoel Romero. And as I say, we're not exactly best buddies, but I do sympathize with him on that occasion. Now, leading into this fight, this weighing, pardon me, there was a lot of talk. I don't know if you heard any of it, Lewis. People talking, MMA journalists, so-called MMA journalists that know nothing about the process of cutting weight and what it means to be a fighter, chiming in and saying that the UFC needs to go back to the older weigh-ins. Did you see any of that talk, Lewis?
I didn't see much of it, but what do you mean the older weigh-ins? What was the idea?
So the old weigh-ins used to be at 4 p.m. Okay, so then they changed it to where we can weigh in at 10 a.m. and then the 4 p.m. weigh-ins is a ceremonial weigh-in.
Yeah, you're not really weighing in, right? I get it.
Yeah. So a lot of journalists saying, "Oh, we need to go back to that," because apparently they ran some stories that since, not apparently, the facts are the facts. Since they went to earlier weigh-ins, a high percentage of fighters have missed weight and all the rest of it.
But why? What's the thought process behind them missing weight because it's earlier in the day?
Yeah, but you know, that's what they're saying. They say because it's earlier in the day, more people are missing weight. But the reason for bringing it earlier to the morning is because you have more time to hydrate. So therefore, you go into the ring healthier, less chance of getting brain damage, which is the most important factor. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to persevere people's health. We're trying to look after, make the careers longer, minimize damage to the brain, to the body, all types of stuff. And you get better performances. So it's better for the consumer if the fighters aren't running out of gas later. The more time you have to rehydrate and replenish nutrients, the better. The better performance you will have. So instead of weighing in at 4 p.m., you weigh in at 9 or 10. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., that's 7 hours. You get an extra 7 hours, which is huge. Now we've got journalists weighing in saying, "Oh, we need to go back to the 4 p.m., which I think is bullshit. Big John McCarthy last week, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I think it was last week or the week before, and he chimed in on it, and he actually said a very, very good He tweeted something which I retweeted. He said, weigh-ins were never designed to be easy. But what we're trying to do is make it healthier for the fighters. I'm butchering that tweet, but it was something like that. And he's absolutely right. So the thing is, go away, my bloody dog. It's not about, listen, making weight's never supposed to be easy. And that's up to the fighter. You decide what weight class you want to compete in. And if you decide, I'm going to do a weight cut, that I'm going to have to cut 25 pounds week of the fight, then that's their lookout. It's not the UFC, it's not the commission, it's not anybody. It's down to the individual that fights. It's not supposed to be easy, and in the morning, it's way easier. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
well, apparently Dana White came out and said that they are certainly going to be returning to the 4 p.m. weigh-ins, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess they interviewed, Ariel Helwani has interviewed a bunch of fighters, and every fighter agrees that 10 a.m. is better for the professionals and is a healthier way to do it.
10 a.m.'s way better. Yeah. For me personally, when I was making weight, I would, on the Thursday night, I would, do whatever I do. Salt bath, sometimes on the treadmill, sauna, whatever it is. Everyone has different techniques. So you do that bit on the Thursday night.
Get a manicure, pedicure, whatever. Just really get a massage.
Hey, listen, you're joking about pedicures. The last few fights of my career, my wife hates this for some reason. I don't know why. But I would do a salt bath. I used to run the majority of my weight off on a treadmill with a sauna suit and sweet sweat. But the last few fights of my career, and this started with the Luke Rockhold fight, I did a salt bath for 20 minutes, covered in sweet sweat. Then I get out the bath, I lie in bed, and I do the towels and shit, which a lot of people do. Then back in the bath, and then repeat. But when you say about pedicures, the second part, in the bath and then in the bed, whilst I was in the bed, my jiu-jitsu coach, Brady Fink, used to give me a foot massage. He used to give me a foot massage, and he would distract my attention from the fact that I was massively dehydrated.
Right.
Honestly, and it was really well neat. I was like, oh, God, it feels so good.
What else did he do? What else did he do to distract you? It's like...
Hey, listen, a good cornerman will do whatever it takes, Lewis.
Whatever it takes to win, man. You got to have that championship spirit.
Exactly. You got to do whatever it takes. Fight it first, Lewis. Fight it first. So anyway, we had all that controversy at the weekend. I don't know. Yeah. I think if they put it back to 4 p.m., I think it's a little unfair for the fighters that want to weigh in at 10 a.m.
Well, what about this? And I've always heard this train of thought, and I always kind of agreed with it because they did this in high school or college wrestling, but they made the weigh-ins the day of the fight. And the reason they did that was so you don't really have the ability to cut a bunch of weight. If they weighed everybody in the day of the fight, wouldn't technically everyone have to sort of fight in the weight class that's closer to their natural walking weight?
Absolutely they would. Absolutely they would. But this is professional sports. See, the thing is, when people cut a lot of weight, what they're trying to do is give themselves an advantage. When I fought at 205, I was stepping onto the scale at 205 and walking into the ring at 205. And it was only when I had my first loss to Rashad Evans, highly controversial split decision. But when I had that loss to Rashad Evans, whilst I was sat in a Chinese restaurant eating noodles and drinking 7-Up, terrible nutrition, I know, Rashad Evans was killing himself in the sauna. And after that loss, I thought to myself, well, am I making all the sacrifices I can be making to be the best I can be? And the answer was no. So then I went down to 185. And now, and you join the rest of the pack. But you're right, Lewis. If everybody just fought their natural weight class, this wouldn't be an issue at all.
Yeah, I almost feel like that's sort of the solution. And to be honest with you, with Romero, I know as much as you like to poke fun at him, 0.2 pounds, it's fucked up. I didn't know that the commission stopped him from cutting weight. The reality is, dude, he wanted the fucking title fight. He probably would have went in there and he would have cut the other 0.2 pounds. And would that have been the difference to kill him? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think so. Really, that last 0.2 pounds. So you kind of you're fucking him. I guess he lost over $120,000. Harrington, you sent me over $120,000 is what was the difference.
A lot of money.
When it's all said and done between the two fights, and you kind of go like, I don't know, dude. If there was a guy in a parking lot and another guy in a parking lot and you said that guy's 0.2 pounds bigger than him, I would go, okay, they're the same size. There's no difference.
Yeah, no,
who gives a
100%,
shit?
100%. And but going back to what I was just saying, Yoel turned up this week, by all accounts, at 207 pounds on the Monday morning. 207, so that's 22 pounds over. So that's a hell of a weight cut. But even still, he pretty much made weight. 185.2 is pretty much made weight, especially when the commission stopped him. When they stepped in and said, you're cutting no more, that's not his fault. I honestly, I have to support Yoel Romero here.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. And you saw your boy Luke Rockhold. I know you did because you retweeted it and called him a cunt or whatever. But he tweeted...
No. I would never use that kind of language on social media. What I said was typical bitch, because I'm driving to the Fox Studios Friday and I'm stuck in traffic. And, whatever, I'm stuck in traffic. You shouldn't use your phone while you're in traffic, but whatever, I did. I looked at my phone and all I saw, pardon me. I was listening to the radio and I heard that Yoel had missed weight. And then when I was stuck in traffic, I thought I'll just take a quick look at Twitter and see the shitstorm unfolding. And I see a tweet from Luke Rockhold just saying, ha. And I thought, come on, you're not fighting, you're not part of it. It doesn't concern you in the slightest, but yet you gotta kick someone while they're down. You know what I mean? So I responded, typical bitch.
So look, I guess Rockhold, here's the problem with Rockhold, because then I ended up going on his Twitter, okay? And you could actually pull up Luke Rockhold's Twitter, Shannon, because he's kind of a hand-jobby dude. I didn't even realize what a fucking jerk-off this guy is.
That's a great way of describing him. He's a hand-jobby dude.
Yeah, so he writes, good luck to the true champ Whitaker. And I didn't even realize at that point when I had read the because you tweeted typical bitch shit, and I didn't even know what it was about. At that point, I hadn't even seen that Yoel missed weight. So I didn't know what was going on. So I started scrolling down, trying to see what this was about. And then the next tweet down, if you look underneath the tweet, Shannon, go underneath it. He tweeted a picture. And look, he looks great. It's undeniable. But he tweets a picture of himself. He goes, did I mention Ralph Lauren underwear too? These things are money. And it's just him in his fucking Ralph Lauren underwear giving smoky eyes to the camera. And you're just not supposed to tweet this picture of yourself. You're supposed to let other people do it. Fine, you're a good looking dude, but just have a little bit of humility.
Okay. Listen, I love an opportunity to kick Luke Rockhold, but I kind of disagree with you there, Lewis.
No.
Listen, the whole point of it is he's modeling for Ralph Lauren. Good for him. That's a good gig. It's a good shot. He's obviously got a social media outlet, which they want him to share his stuff on social media. Listen, that's what people do, unfortunately, on social media. They brag. They brag, or they like to put other people down. John Anik, we'll get to that later. But
you can't post a picture
Is it
of
a
yourself
little
like
douchey?
this.
Yeah, it's a little douchey. But I'll be honest, I've put pictures of myself with my shirt off on social media before as well.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, you do it in a different way. You have you're not fucking going look at me. You almost do it in a way where you're mocking yourself. He is as serious as could fucking be, giving smoky eyes to the camera. The next one down is a picture of him on the beach with a surfboard. And he's literally going, look how good I look, everyone. This is amazing. Harrington just texted me. This is true. Michael Jordan has been sponsored by Hanes for 30 years. He's never once posed in his underwear. There's a way to do it, and he just sort of has that douchebag jock. Like he's got
Hold on. But that's his thing. That he's a good-looking dude. He plays to that.
Nobody's rooting for that guy.
Say again.
Nobody's rooting for that guy. Nobody's rooting for the guy who's good-looking, gets all the chicks, has a great body, fucking gets a modeling contract, can kick your ass. This is the guy that fucks your girlfriend, and you have to take it, and you're like, all right, this is just the worst person in the world.
Yeah, well, you decipher it how you want to decipher it. But I feel like we're going off on a tangent here. But, yeah, all right, whatever. He likes to post douchey pictures. As I say, come on, Lewis. I'm pretty sure I've seen you with a picture of you with your shirt off as well. See, I can't weigh in on Luke Rockhold being a dick for doing that because I've done the same thing. I've definitely put pictures of me shirtless when I'm in good shape. You know?
But if I was
maybe not in the same context, and I'm pretty sure I've seen you do it as well, Lewis.
Yeah, but if I looked like Luke Rockhold, I wouldn't have to. It's like it's a thing where I'm very proud of I used to be fat. I'm proud of my accomplishments. I'm just fucking. He's perfect. He's got it already. Okay. You win, Luke Rockhold. We all tap out. You won the gene pool fucking competition in life. We get it.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, moving away from Luke Rockhold because we kind of went off on one there, and your apparent love for Luke Rockhold and somewhat envious.
I'm not the one who's letting Brady Fink jerk me off before
a real problem with him. Listen, just embrace it, Lewis.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk about one of our incredible sponsors, which is Keeps. Keeps is designed for guys who want to stop hair loss. I wish I would have found out about Keeps when I was 18 years old when I started losing my hair. They use a scientific and affordable approach. Keeps is the easiest way to stop hair loss before it's too late. It really works, and it is completely safe.
Yeah, Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. Some of you have probably tried them before, actually, but you've never gotten them this easy or for this price. Getting started with Keeps takes less than 5 minutes, and Keeps only costs from $10 to $35 a month. Now you can get your first month free. One hell of a deal for getting to keep your hair. There's no reason to put this off any longer. Stop hair loss today the easy way with Keeps. Now, of course, I've got a beautiful head of hair, as many people comment on. But Harrington, you're familiar with this brand.
Yeah, correct? We've been giving you Keeps now for a few weeks. What do you feel about this? Because you look good, dude.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's summertime. I don't like wearing a hat really in the summertime. I'm more of a bandana guy, and
you're obese. You're right.
Yeah. I'm just starting to get comfortable, man. Like I have confidence in my hair again, which is nice.
Am I weird to say that?
Can you get a haircut for crying out loud? I can hardly see your face, Harrington. Your hair is so long since you started using Keeps.
It looks like Cousin It.
Walking in here looking like Chewbacca.
No, the reality is, though, I'm looking at you. I feel like we're supposed to say this because they're a sponsor on the show, but your hair looks thicker. You looked worse a month ago. I really mean this.
Yeah.
This is insane. So, look, dude, Harrington is a walking example of how it could work. I wish I could have done it. Michael Bisping, it's not going to last forever, my friend. So maybe you should be stockpiling.
No, don't worry. I'm stockpiling the Keeps as it is.
I
but
know you are.
To receive your first month of treatment for free, go to keeps.com/believe. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/believe. That's a free month of treatment at keeps.com/believe. Keeps, hair today, hair tomorrow.
All right, let's get back into it.
Let's get back to the fight. So Yoel misses weight, loses 30% of his purse, but the fight goes ahead. Apparently, there was some talk there for a while that the fight wasn't going to go ahead, but as we all know and saw, the fight did go ahead, and it was an amazing fight. Yoel said that he learned from that loss to Whittaker, and he changed his style somewhat. And we did see that in the Luke Rockhold fight. In the Luke Rockhold fight, he was much more... not tentative, but the output was a lot less, and he wasn't necessarily looking for takedowns. In that first fight against Robert Whittaker, he went for 18 takedowns, and he was only successful in 4 of them. Now, in MMA, the wrestling aspect is the most exhausting part of MMA by far. Jiu-jitsu's taxing. Throwing punches, kickboxing, yeah, of course, you're going to be in good shape. But the wrestling is 100% physical effort, everything you've got throughout those exchanges. So it really does tire you out. So we saw less takedown attempts. In fact, almost no takedown attempts. And in that first round, Yoel went out there and he was happy to almost just stand there. And it's like he was trying to, lull Robert Whittaker into a false sense of security or something. He just stood there. He didn't do anything. And he was conserving his energy. But when the time came, he did explode, and, he exploded well. Almost finished Robert on a couple of occasions. Yeah. I mean, Robert Whittaker is just tough as hell, man. Tough as hell. He took those shots. A couple of times I thought, it's done. It's over. My God, Yoel's done it. But then all of a sudden you see Whitaker, he grabs his leg and he starts working up to a single leg, and then he's back on his feet. Yeah, Whitaker showed a lot of heart, man. Incredible.
Yeah, I think overall the MMA gods, gave that fight to Whitaker because it was super close. Okay, really close. A lot of people think Yoel won the fight. I
Really?
Guess, yeah, a lot of people online are saying that.
How do you feel?
Dude, I gotta be honest. Can I be honest with you? I watched the fights.
Well, no. I want you to be fucking honest. That's why I'm asking, how do you feel? Because I want to know how you feel. I don't want you to lie to me.
Okay, fine. I will be 100% honest this time. This is the only time.
No.
I'm not a very honest person. You know that. No, I was watching the fights, but I fucked up. Okay, I really fucked up, and I ended up buying an Xbox, and I started playing this game called Fortnite, and it really was taking up so much. I mean, I'm watching the fights in my peripheral, but I'm trying to murder teenagers online, and like it had. So
you have no idea.
Doug, when a fight's that close and I'm watching it, I can't really tell you who won. I'm not a fucking fight expert. But when I'm playing Fortnite and I'm literally in an earpiece, like talking to a 13-year-old child, being like, listen, they're in the bushes. They're in the bushes.
So hold on. We have the best fight card of the year happening. Right? One of the best fights we'll see. Robert Whitaker and Yoel Romero, the two best middleweights on the planet, going at it. Epic fight, back and forth, big moments for both. And you're telling me, whilst that was on in the corner of the room, your attention was with the teenagers playing Fortnite in the other corner.
Doggy, I had it on my laptop. I ordered it from YouTube. Had it on my laptop, barely paying attention. And I'm fucking, even like the CM Punk fight. I missed almost every bit of it. First of all, it sucked and was a lot of people talk about that too. But I was so enthralled with this game, and I just bought this system. I was playing on my girlfriend's system for like a week, and I was like, this is insane. I don't play video games at all. I went out and I purchased a fucking $500 Xbox. Excuse me. Just so I could play this game. Does your son play Fortnite? Tell me his gamer tag.
Yes, my son does play Fortnite. And my 8-year-old plays Fortnite. And my 17-year-old plays Fortnite.
What are their gamer tags? I'll play with them right now.
The 39-year-old father of 3 that I am does not play Fortnite. It's certainly when one of the best fights you're ever going to see is happening live in front of me.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now, if you would give it a try, there's a good chance you would.
I'm sure it's great. But you know what I would do?
What?
I'd turn it off, watch the fights, and then go and play your douchey little video game.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to. I just got caught up, and I got to apologize to the fans. It was just so fucking good. I guess the what was in contention was the 5th round. A lot of people are having question. How did you score the 5th?
Well, I had it 3 rounds to 2. So I think Whitaker won 1, 2. Was it 4 and 5? I'm not sure. Anyway, it was 3 to 2. I forget which ones it were.
Harrington wants to chime in. What do you want to say, buddy?
So
yeah, please.
The first 2 rounds, Whitaker clearly won. The 3rd round, Romero scored the knockdown. In the 4th round, Romero had him on Queer Street towards the end of the round.
Whoa. Time the fuck out, Mike Harrington.
It's a legit boxing term. Continue. I'll give you a pass, Harrington.
Remember, that's the first time I ever made Michael Bisping laugh. It was on the radio show. He was talking about how he got in trouble on Fox for saying Queer Street. I was like, you didn't call it faggot.
No, it wasn't on Fox. I didn't say it on Fox. I said Queer Street. And they said, you can't say that on Fox. And what did you say?
I said, well, you didn't call it Faggot Boulevard.
Don't, Lewis.
What? That was old me.
The namesake of this podcast. This reflects on me.
No, that was old me. That new me wouldn't say that. I'm repeating what old me said.
Retrospective, Lewis. Okay, anyway, Harrington, go ahead.
So he had him on roller skates towards the end of the 4th round. So Sal D'Amato gave it to... Sal D'Amato scored that round for Romero. A lot of people were saying that given the takedowns and the damage Romero did in the 5th round, he should have gotten a 10-8. I personally scored it a 10-8 in the 5th, and I had it as a draw. So I just wanted to get your take on that 5th round.
I hate how fucking professional. Look, Bisping's not paying attention. He's texting.
No, I'm paying attention. My phone just flashed up. Listen, I could do multiple things at once. Harrington, you know what? To be honest, I think, you know what? I love Robert Whitaker, and I think he won the fight. I think it was the right decision. But I do also think that 5th round was probably a 10-8 under the new scoring criteria, which is in place now. 10-8s are a lot more prevalent.
And I agree with it, by the way. I agree with them giving out 10-8s more often, 10-7s more often. It almost always plays into don't leave it into the hands of the judges, where it's like, dude, now it can get a little bit crazy. Now this, who said this? Actually, this was an interesting thing. Maybe, was it Rogan's idea for like, having like 10 judges? Was he? That's such a cool idea, dude. Having 10 judges and they're like in silent booths. separately, all watching from different angles, and they judge it just on that. So it's like literally no outside interference, nothing from the other judges, nothing from the audience, nothing from fucking.
That's great. That thanks for chiming in with what Joe Rogan said. Can I say my opinion now? I appreciate that though. The old input from Joe Rogan, awesome. If you want to hear that, by the way, you can listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. But no, we'll listen to the Michael Bisping and Luis J. Gomez fucking podcast. I'll give my opinion. Is that okay?
I like it. Go.
I thought the 5th round was a 10-8. Certainly, under the new criteria, as I said. So that does complicate it somewhat. I think when you look at the story, Robert Whittaker won the fight. But, geez, Yoel had his moments. Both guys, listen, it is what it is. We can sit here and we can go back and forth all day. Whittaker won the fight. That's the facts. It was a close fight. Whenever there's a close fight, you can make arguments either way. The facts of the matter is Robert Whittaker won the fight. Congratulations to him. Job well done. Epic fight. Well done, Yoel Romero, as well. That was a great performance by both guys. It really was. I mean, Yoel showed why he's such a force in MMA and why he's still, he'll be ranked number 1. Whittaker will be the champion. I think Weidman's going to get a title shot against Whittaker towards the end of the year. So that'll be an interesting one. But, amazing fight. Amazing fight. It really was.
Yeah, it was a really fun, exciting fight. Not as fun and exciting as a game of Fortnite, but to be honest with you, I'm sure those of you who really keyed into it had a great time. So that's it, though. But look, the UFC's got to be happy, though, because if Romero had won, what do you do? What happens? I mean, Whittaker's still the champ, right?
Yeah, Whittaker's the champ, and it would have been, been a bit of a tricky situation. Had Yoel won, Whittaker would still be the champion, but in everyone's mind, Yoel would be the people's champion, which, by the way, he's claiming to be the people's champion now. Did you see that video he did?
I did.
At the hospital, where he's calling himself the people's champ. He would have for sure been the people's champ, but he didn't win. He had a great fight. He had a great performance. It was a close fight. Anytime it's a close fight, you can't bitch about it. You got to take it like a man. I've lost close fights, and tons of people have lost close fights over the years. More people will lose close fights. I mean, they say it always sucks when people say, don't let it go to the judges. Unfortunately, when you're fighting the best people in the world, sometimes it goes to the fucking judges. That's why the judges are there. The judges are paid to give an opinion, to score the rounds. And Whittaker got it. I feel like he deserved it anyway.
Well, that's another thing. Why not give the judges or the scoring in between the rounds? Why not let the fighters know what they...
Yep.
And then if you have to push it, if you're down, any other fucking game, the score. In football, the score. It's the last fucking, what is it, a quarter in football? Yeah,
it's a quarter. It's a quarter. I like that. I actually would be a big fan of seeing that in between rounds. It was put up on, the jumbotrons, whatever you call them, the big screens, and the crowd knows as well. Oh, such and such is up here. Going into the 5th round, he's behind 2 points. He needs a knockout, or he needs to definitely win this round by a 10-8 just to make it a draw. That would actually add an extra bit of drama to the fight. So I am a fan of that, and I would like to see that.
You're right.
I'd be interested to hear the commission's reason as to why they don't do that. I wonder if it's because for the person that's in front, would they then coast and step off the gas and just avoid the other fighter? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the concept is called open scoring. Thank you, Harrington. By the way, I sound like I'm brilliant. Harrington's just been feeding me that smart shit all day.
Well done, Harrington.
Yeah, but it's called open scoring. I love that. I love that idea. What could possibly be the downside? What is the negative to not letting these guys know? Wouldn't it even make it safer? Wouldn't it even make it like a safer fight? At one point where you're so far down on the judges' scorecards, you go, I truly can't win. I have to go fucking get a knockout right now. Or that's that. I can't knock this guy out, and I'm not going to be able to do it. I almost feel like there's no negative to it. And in fact, I think it would make it more exciting for everybody. Instead of kind of questioning it, there's this weird lull that happens in MMA, especially very close fights, even very exciting fights like Whittaker versus Romero, where you don't know, where it's so close, like me, a fan like me, where I don't know who's winning, and I'm kind of going like, I'm lost. This is so close, but I'm weirdly lost, and I'm not really following who's winning. And when you don't, if you know somebody has to come from behind, you're going to be on the fucking edge of your seat. You're going to be really, really keyed into it, okay?
Well, it's not just MMA. It's boxing. And I think combat sports in general, I can't think of a single combat sport where they have the open scoring in kickboxing, in boxing, or MMA. unless Harrington can find one right now. If he's looked that up, Harrington, if you can. But I can't think of any. And you're right. I think it would add a bit of drama, and people would know where they stand. And I think the fighters would appreciate it as well. Who knows? Maybe that will be another addition that we see down the line.
It's beautiful too, man. It really, like, I can't think of a downside to it. I'm getting excited thinking about them changing that rule. Couldn't imagine anything negative. It seems like it's one of these old school traditional type things that they just adopted from boxing and they keep it there. And it's
well in boxing sometimes they have not one of the official judges, but they have like they'll put on the commentators how he scores the rounds and things like that. So you kind of have a guide of how they are. And they used to have something similar in the UFC. Remember Eddie Bravo back in the day?
Mark Lehman as well.
Yeah, Mark Lehman, Eddie Bravo, they used to, chime in and at the end of every round between it, say how they scored the round and who they think is ahead, all the rest of it. Yeah, I'd like to see that added. Anyway, let's move on. Just want to say well done, Robert Whittaker, all his team. Fantastic fight. And well done, Yoel Romero. Both of those guys put on a great fight. That is why we love the UFC. That's why we love mixed martial arts. The drama, great back and forth fight. Both guys showed a lot of skill and tenacity. And yeah, I was a big fan. I loved the fight.
I did go to.
Well done, Robert.
All right, Mike, we got to talk about Infinite CBD, which is an amazing company. If you guys don't know what CBD is, it's basically marijuana that does not get you high. People hear about the health or medical benefits of marijuana. You don't want to get your grandma stoned. You don't want to get high before you're hanging out with your kids or have to go to work. That's not. That was always the weirdest thing to me with medical marijuana. I was like, well, look, that's the trade-off. Now you're just getting stoned all day while you're at work. If you need it, there's an issue. Well, CBD, it's found in marijuana, but it doesn't get you high. It's 100% legal. Doesn't show up in drug tests. It's really the I would say the adult version of marijuana. I like to smoke weed with the best of them, but this is specifically for people who need health benefits, and it helps with things like anxiety, depression, inflammation. My girlfriend uses it. She goes to jiu-jitsu now, my girlfriend, all the time, and she uses it after jiu-jitsu class for her joints. She rubs CBD oil in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is not a product for people that are looking to get high. In fact, it's got nothing to do with that. It's all about the medicinal qualities of marijuana. As you said, it's found in marijuana, but it doesn't get you high. 100% legal, will not show up in a drug test. If you want to get involved, go to infinitecbd.com. They offer a variety of products to make sure you enjoy the CBD the way that you prefer. CBD, as you said, is good for anxiety, depression, insomnia. I personally like the freezing topical cream. I rub it on the back of my knee. I've talked about this before. My knee, man, it still pisses me off all this time. But with that, I'm able to run and still to train. Freezing tropical cream provides a cooling sensation that soothes pain fast. So yeah, I am a fan of that. Here's what powers the topical cream though. It's got peppermint oil, known as a natural painkiller and a muscle relaxant. It's got eucalyptus oil, helps with relieving pain and stress to your skin. It's got camphor. What does camphor do? I hear you say. Well, let me tell you. It stimulates nerves and relieves pain. It has beeswax. Studies demonstrate application of beeswax works to reduce swelling while decreasing pain and inflammation, and of course CBD. So I recommend this. It works great on stiff joints. It works great on stiff muscles. Lewis, if they want to get some, what do? They
got to contact Brady Fink as he's rubbing it into your feet. And say, hey, Brady, let me get a little bit of that cream. No. So right now, go to their website, which is infinitecbd.com. That is INFINITECBD.com. Or you can click the link in the episode description. If you use the promo code BELIEVE, you're going to get 15% off of any purchase. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BELIEVE, 15% off any purchase. Once again, that is infinitecbd.com. Promo code BELIEVE, 15% off of anything they have on the website, and it lets them know that we sent you there, which is probably the best part of all of it. We love you guys hooking us up. We try to hook you guys up. And that's it. All right, let's get back into it.
That's it.
I went to reddit.com/r/boxing, which, by the way, you guys can follow our subreddit, which we love, the guys who put that together, which is r/BelieveYouMe. And we check it from time to time. We will post there. So if you guys fucking love the show, go to the Reddit and post there. But I did check the boxing Reddit, and somebody actually asked the question, why don't they show the judges' scorecards every round? And one other person had responded with, opening scoring does exist today. This is a few years ago. It fucking sucks. If they do it, I'd like to see it done in a couple of ways. The score must be shown every round, not twice in the fight. Judges have to be better. And replays to judge knockouts, dirty shots, and so on. Okay, whatever. So I guess it does exist.
Can we move on?
All right. I thought it was... I thought it
No,
was
come
going to be more
on,
interesting.
carry on.
No, it sucks. You're right.
Judges. No. I'll let you finish your point before we move on. Go ahead.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission says they are worried about the safety of the judges.
From an article in 2013, I'm reading here.
Weird.
On MMA.
Why? What? Because of some kind of repercussions from fighters or fighters' corners? I mean, that doesn't make sense because I'm pretty sure that people's scorecards are made public anyway after the fact. Correct?
What it's saying is, though, in between rounds, if it's a hostile hometown crowd and it's a hometown fighter, they're worried about, people ganging up on the judges.
That's interesting. I can see that in certain scenarios. Yeah, interesting.
Looking at you, Brazil.
Lewis, please. We're not
know.
looking at fucking Brazil. All right, what we are looking at is the rest of the card.
Co-main event.
Co-main event. Stacked card. Lots of great fights to get to. Tai Tuivasa against Andrei Arlovski, doing the shoot it again. There's so much to talk about with the opening thing, but you want to, go on having an in-depth discussion about scoring, which wasn't planned, which wasn't in the notes, Harrington.
Well, you know what? Sometimes we improvise, Michael Bisping. This is the difference between us and every other MMA podcast on the planet. They have to go by the script. They don't speak from the gut. They're not speaking from the heart. We're very emotional guys. We don't think about anything before we say it. We're very boom.
It's true.
And sometimes
It's off the cuff. And, often it's off the cuff when you're on TV as well doing a post-fight interview with the person that's just won the interim title fight. We'll get to that after the fight. Of course, I'm talking about Colby Covington taking on Rafael Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos, somewhat teammate of mine. We both share a coach in Jason Perillo. Of course, I was rooting for RDA in that fight, but Covington got the job done. It was a job well done. RDA made it. Made it interesting. It wasn't totally one-sided. It could have been 2 rounds each going into that 5th round, but Covington clearly won it. His game plan was to push forward, pressure RDA, look for the takedowns. Dos Anjos, for the most part, defended the takedown, but even still, when you're pushed up against the fence and the person's holding you there, unfortunately, you're losing that round. So Dos Anjos, I'm sure, is very frustrated. Would have been nice to see some more lateral movement and things like that. But it's easy to sit here and say that. It's easy to sit here and say that from the comfort of a couch or a desk or whatever. When you're in there, it's very different. And he's coming forward, and you think, if I can catch him as he's coming forward with a big right hand or whatever, maybe I can put this guy to sleep. So, Covington won, interim welterweight champion now, so that's nice. Congratulations to him. What do you think of the fight, Lewis?
Really, the one thing that I took away is that I probably should have looked for a sniper rifle somewhere in the hills, because you know what, dude? From a distance.
What do you mean?
I can, an AR-15 from the hills in Fortnite is not going to get the job done. You need a sniper rifle, and you have to. You got to get up there, dude. You get to get the height advantage, and otherwise you're going to be really fucked.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
look.
All right. Well, let me break down the fight for you. Not break it down.
Well,
let me run through it. Basically, Covington comes forward trying to get the takedown. Dos Anjos defends the takedown, throws him off, lands a couple of shots. Covington grabs him, pins him up against the fence, maybe gets a takedown. Dos Anjos gets back to his feet, shoves him off, lands a couple of shots. Covington does the same. That was it.
Rinse, repeat.
That was pretty much the entire fight.
I know. I did watch it, and also I watched again because we were doing the show today. I watched all of the highlights that they put out again to put it back in my head. And yeah, dude, it was once again, you have Covington, who, I mean, God bless his soul. He really is quite the character.
Hold on. Is that a believe you me, God bless, or is that a
that's an American, good red-blooded American, loving Jesus, loving my pickup truck, loving country music. God bless. Okay, God bless his soul.
God bless him. Okay, carry on.
He's quite the character. But he came out and he fought, I would say an unremarkable style. Like, it wasn't like I wasn't super. There was no part of me that went like, oh my God, Colby Covington is the fucking future of the division. And, I don't think it should have even been an interim title fight. It didn't seem to really, make sense. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with Tyron Woodley. I think Tyron Woodley does that style a lot better and can knock you the fuck out. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's just the way that Covington fights. If you look at his previous fights, of course, his last fight was against Damian Maia. Now, against Damian Maia, you're not going to force the takedown. There's just no way. Maia's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys the UFC has ever seen. So you're not going to look for the takedown. But what he did was just flip it and just use his wrestling to stay on his feet. Prior to that, most of his wins have been the same way what we saw Saturday night against Don Young Kim. Same thing. Lots and lots of fights. I could go through his record. Generally, that's his style. He'll use his wrestling, take people's back, pound them out, ride their back, whatever, look for ground and pound. You know, it's not the most fan-pleasing, remarkable style, but it is very effective. It's very, very hard to fight against. It's hard to defend. Super frustrating. When you're the guy that's trying to stay on the feet like Dos Anjos was, it's so fucking annoying when you've got a guy that just keeps coming forward and sticks to you and clinches and tries to take you down. Now, of course, there's two horses in every race, you know, so it's up to you to counter that. And that's what I'm saying. It is up to us to counter that, but it's very frustrating. It's like when I fought Tim Kennedy. He did the same thing. He didn't want to stand, didn't want to fight as such. I'm not saying that's in a disrespectful way, different style. He just wanted to take down and fight in the wrestling, fight in the clinch, fight on the floor. And it's so fucking annoying. And it's very frustrating physically, mentally, and also physically taxing as well, because you're trying to throw this guy off here. But that's the way Covington fights, so I wasn't surprised to see that. So, but listen, it is what it is. Of course, Dos Anjos is my boy. We both have the same coach, Jason Perillo. But got to say congratulations to Covington. He got the job done. You know, you can't deny that. He went out there. He said what he was going to do, and he got the win. So, therefore, I say congratulations.
Yeah, he did. He did get the win. Now, you ended up getting into a weird thing with him afterwards. Post-fight interview, he was calling into Fox, and you were one of the interviews. It was you, Karen Bryant, Karate Hottie, Michelle Watterson, and Florian, right?
Kenny Florian, yeah, that's right. So obviously we do what's called a talk back, and whoever it is that just fought, not everybody, but if we can get them, if they feel like doing it, then we'll do what's called a talk back interview. And Karen Bryant asked the first question, and he came right hot out the gate. Now, listen, I get it. The guy's charged, and he's kind of made a career out of being controversial and whatnot, you know. So maybe if I could do it again, I'd calm it down. I'd bring it down just a notch. But the first thing he said was, oh, hey, I got all my haters in one spot, blah, 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 blah. So then I went, hold on a minute. I said, if you just want to just slow your roll a minute and just listen, we actually gave you a lot of compliments. And what he's referring to is that myself, Kenny, and Michelle Watterson, we all picked Dos Anjos to win the fight. And, you know, not that I'm making excuses for us, but it's actually a difficult position picking the fights publicly, because the pre-fight shows in the locker room. So the fighter that's getting ready, they see us sitting there from the comfort of a studio picking. And of course, there's two people in a fight. We have to pick one to win and one to lose. And we don't like, you know, to put that negative energy out there to pick somebody to lose, especially when we know that there's a good chance that they're going to see it. You know, it's not a nice thing to do, but unfortunately, that's our job. That is what we're there to do, to break down the fights and pick a winner and a loser. And we picked Dos Anjos to win. And of course, that ruffled his feathers a little bit, and rightly so. I've been in that position myself where I've been on the receiving end of somebody picking me to lose, and it pisses me off. It gets my back up, and I would love an opportunity to have it out with them, which Colby did. So he had his chance, and he talked a bit of shit. I responded a little bit, and yeah. You know the rest.
Yeah, so, well, that was the thing. You know, he sort of kind of went in on you, and it seems like it's a little bit sensitive of him to get upset about that. People are going to pick against you. I mean, you know, I almost feel like if you're a fighter, that's par for the course. You're going to go almost and disconnect from the idea that people are going to sometimes pick you to lose, and you're not going to get emotional. Have you ever gotten emotional before where you remember somebody picked against you and you're like, fuck you, dude, we're boys, and you went and publicly picked against me?
I don't know about that, if I'm honest. I don't think I have. I'm maybe not publicly. I'm sure there's been times in my head where I thought, you motherfucker. Yeah. I thought we were good. I thought we were friends, but you couldn't just give me that. You just couldn't give me that. You couldn't just say that you thought I was going to win, even if you didn't believe it. Come on.
If you guys want, you can go through the archives at gasdigitalnetwork.com, and you can see when Michael Bisping actually is bullshitting. You can see it on his face. One of his eyebrows kind of furls up, and he kind of gives a little look to the camera. If he doesn't mean it, you can definitely see that he's a liar. He's not a good liar. He's a very, very bad liar, Michael Bisping. So
that's because I don't do it very often, so how about that?
That's very true.
So here's the thing. I mean, Colby Covington, you know, he's Mr. Controversy. Everywhere he goes, he tries to create controversy. For crying out loud, he tweets out spoilers to, like, the new Star Wars movies and things like that. He's trying to create controversy. So when he came on, the first thing he did was basically, fuck you guys up there at the panel, kiss my ass, you all pick me to lose. So I thought, okay, here we go. We've got Colby Covington in rare form, and this is what he likes to do. Maybe I'll be a sparring partner with him. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't offended by anything that he said, because a lot of so-called journalists, and I'll say fucking so-called journalists because you're so-called journalists. You are so-called, but you ain't no journalist in my eyes. But these so-called journalists have been criticizing me this morning and saying, oh, he's got to know when to hold back and put his analyst hat on and all the rest of it. Well, hold on. Let me tell you this right now. I do that, and I was calm, and I was smiling throughout the entire thing. But I thought if Colby wants to have a Colby-esque moment and create drama and controversy, then I'll be a sparring partner with him.
Yeah,
so I gave it back to him a little bit. I'm like, yo, you got that belt on there. Do you really consider yourself to be the champion? Because I'm pretty sure Tyron Woodley lays claim to that already. Which A, is a fair question. B, gives him a chance to answer that. And C, is like, giving him a bit of shit back as well,
So who you're referring to is John Anik, who
No, I'm not referring to John Anik at all. I'm not referring to John Anik. They're so-called. No, I like John Anik. John Anik's awesome. I'll get to John Anik in a moment.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm referring to some other MMA journalists that have written little bullshit stories about it this morning. Not John Anik. John Anik isn't an MMA journalist. John Anik is a UFC commentator.
Okay.
And great fucking guy. John Anik's awesome. I love John Anik, and we're very, very good friends. We have a good relationship. Now, he did come out this morning and talk a little bit of shit. He did. If I'm not mistaken, say that he was appalled and that I was disgraceful.
Yeah, this is the tweet. He said,
interaction.
He says, was disgraceful. It's Colby's night and moment. Pretty stunning that they'd allow an analyst to steal his shine. I don't think he stole his shine. I think he put his shine up to be taken.
Go on.
He put his shine up to be taken.
Hold on. Listen, we all have different styles. That's all it is. I mean, the people as humans, we just all have different styles. I mean, like John obviously wouldn't do that. And I love John. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a bit of fun here. But, we got different styles. Like John wouldn't have done that. And I wouldn't go to social media to berate a colleague. You know what I'm saying? We all just got different styles, bro. We all just got different styles.
Different styles, baby.
And then I appreciate he came out and he apologized on his Twitter. So hold on a minute. Isn't he doing what he says I just did? He's doing something that he feels the need to apologize for. I was on live TV back against the wall. I didn't write it out, read it, study it, think, yeah, that's cool, then press tweet. No, I was on live TV and the guy's insulting me and I maybe got my back against the wall and maybe acted a little too much. Maybe I could have been a bit cool or whatever. But I didn't have a chance to read it, reread it, tweet it, think about it, and then press tweet, and then apologize. My back was against the wall. But anyway, as I say, just different styles. John is an amazing commentator. He's a very, very good person. I've got tons of respect for him. Yeah, I was a little disappointed when I read that, but it's all good. It's all good. I love John.
I'd be stunned if the producers didn't reprimand him for that. Did they reprimand you for that?
Who said that?
John. It's on Twitter.
Yeah, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to get me fired or what? I would be stunned if the producers didn't reprimand him for that. Allow me to step into my office, motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Were you reprimanded?
Shoot your text, bro. We got to talk. What the fuck?
Were you reprimanded from the producers? Is your job on the line?
No, it wasn't reprimanded by the producers.
They high-fived you and smoked a blunt with you afterwards.
Hey, no, they didn't do that either. They didn't smoke weed over at the Fox Studios. Okay, it's a very high-pressure, highly professional situation, and he's right. Listen, I'm having fun with it. I love John. I do. John Anik is one of the best guys in this business, but whatever. He said what he said, and it's all good. As I say, we got different styles. You wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go to social media to talk shit about a colleague and a friend.
This is the apology. Hold on. This is on his Instagram. Felt the need to issue a quick statement due to the response to my comments on the post-fight show interview between Colby Covington and Michael Bisping. I replied to a tweet and just shouldn't have made my opinion known, especially in a disrespectful way. While I think parts of the interview lacked professionalism in many ways, and many of you disagree with me as to what exactly an analyst's job is in the situation, I regret my word choice to call it disgraceful, and I apologize to @Mike for that. Had I been more thoughtful, perhaps my comment wouldn't have elicited blah, blah. Okay, such a response. And as anyone who listens to my podcast, I can attest I have a deep respect for Mike as a friend, fighter, and analyst, as anyone in the game. Oh, my God. You guys want to just blow each other? Can we get? Can that be a podcast?
And he's right. I love John. That's why I say John Anik is a great guy. He's a great man. He's a fantastic commentator, and I truly admire him as a professional. I do. You see the amount of research and work that he puts into his craft. You know, you got to admire that. I'm commentating the Dana White Contender Series, my first day tomorrow, and the research is fucking out of control, man. It's a lot of work. I've been sitting there all morning doing it. So I admire John. I do. Those comments stung a little bit, and as I say, we've got different styles. You know, if you've got a problem, maybe just shoot me a text. Maybe give me some advice. Yeah. Maybe say, yo, Mike, hey, just giving you a bit of advice as a friend. When you're in that position, right, what you should do is try and separate yourself as a fighter. Just, you know, maybe try and guide me along. Don't say, hey, I'm hoping this motherfucker gets fired. He definitely needs to be reprimanded by Fox, and this is disgraceful, and he should be ashamed. Of course, I'm adding things on, but I was like, whoa, John, easy, bro. I got a family. I got 5 kids to feed. Name the movie.
What is the movie? I don't know. What is it?
Total Recall.
Come on, baby. How am I supposed to know that? The old one?
I got 5 kids to feed.
There you go. Okay, now I got it. Not bad reference.
Do you know?
He knew.
Yeah.
So that's actually a great point though, because if let's say John Anik got into an MMA fight and he lost, let's say he just did something really wrong, right? You wouldn't go, oh, that's fucking disgraceful what he did. He just fucking stinks. You'd probably go, hey, dude, I'm a fighter. I've been here before. I've walked the walk. Let me give you a little bit of advice since we're friends. Yeah. And he's like, he has that much more experience than you.
That's exactly what I'd say. I'd say, John, listen, let me tell you. You didn't go to university for 20 years studying to be a fighter, or you didn't do a degree in journalism. You haven't worked at ESPN. You haven't worked all over the place. So let me give you a little bit of advice. That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
Michael Bisping should be beaten to death in the streets.
By the way, I'm not getting into a public arguing match with a UFC commentator. That would definitely lose my job. Lose me my job. You know, I love John. I'm having a bit of fun with it, of course.
We got to get him on.
John, come on, bro. Come on.
Next week, John Anik on the show. I'll be in studio next week in LA.
Give me a goddamn break.
Does Anik live in LA?
No, he lives in Atlanta. East Coast, anyway. Sorry, pardon. Yeah, East Coast. Somewhere on the East Coast. Florida. I'm not sure, actually.
Let's get him to call in next week, and we can maybe squash this beef, because right now it's probably the biggest rivalry.
There's no beef. John Anik is... honestly, I stand by what I said. I'm not trying to be an arse kisser or anything. I respect John greatly. I respect him as a commentator. I respect him as a professional and as a person. I truly do. I'm just having a bit of fun with it. You know, he said it. He apologized. Whatever. I couldn't care less. You know, I'm not in the habit of trying to make enemies. I'm trying to make friends and not hold grudges against people for a silly little tweet. And everyone's entitled to their opinions, as I say. So, you know, maybe I could have handled it a little differently. But Colby Covington is a controversial motherfucker, and he loves controversy, and he's trying to create controversy. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll be your dance partner. Let's go.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Biggest rivalry in MMA, Michael Bisping, John
Anik. Yeah. Good job, Lewis. I just got fired. I just got fired. Hold on, let me just check. Yeah, there's the email. Mike, funnily enough, we're not going to need you tomorrow for the Dana White Contender Series. John Anik's doing it.
and making his Bellator debut.
Oh, shit.
Fighting in the super heavyweight tournament, Michael Bisping. Oh, guys, really quick, we got to talk about BetDSI. As we're talking about all these incredible, amazing fights, I think if you guys would have listened to Michael Bisping last week, you would have won some money, because Robert Whitaker is the one who you picked, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I will say that. Yeah, no, I did pick Robert Whitaker, so you would have won some money. Certainly if you used the promo code. What is the promo code, Lewis?
First of all, you didn't, because Harrington is shaking his head, and he definitely picked Romero.
No, I picked Whitaker. You're full of shit.
You kind of picked both. You picked Whitaker during the show, but during the BetDSI ad read, you went with Romero for the underdog.
You know, whatever. You flip a coin in the air.
Stop paying so much attention. How dare you know things?
He dropped out of the 3rd grade, but he's a fucking encyclopedia when it comes to this show.
No, I know. He's great.
BetDSI.
Right, start again.
Here's the deal. BetDSI is an amazing website. They make it easy to go and bet on fights, other sporting events, football, basketball, soccer or football, English football as they call it, horse racing, television shows. They have prop bets, specialty bets every single week. I'm sure you can bet on Fortnite if you really look into it. I guarantee there's something out there. So the best part of all of it, it's a super easy to use website, Michael Bisping, because the one thing you told me when we started talking about doing a gambling sponsor on the show. You said, dude, I've been to gambling sites. They're so difficult to navigate. I can't find myself around. I throw my arms up in the air in disgust. I get flustered, and then I don't even want to do it. But BetDSI, specifically, you love it. Why?
Well, because it has an easy-to-use and fast-playing interface. That's why, Lewis, you can bet games as they go, get live in-game wagering options throughout the tournament, make plays throughout the entire games and events. Not to mention the customer service, which is very, very good, and it's available 24/7, 365. BetDSI has built a reputation on fast payment of winnings, and as you know, if you register with the code ME25, you get $25 and a 200% bonus match on your money. So realistically, if you're going to, we didn't even talk about the World Cup this today, Lewis. It starts this week. But if you want to bet on the World Cup, make a bet right now. Use promo code ME25. I guarantee to pick who's going to win the World Cup right now. If you pick the winner, there's going to be big odds on that. You could register ME25, pick England to win. The odds will be astronomical because we're probably not going to win, but it won't cost you anything and you might win. So, I like it. Promo code ME25, 200% bonus match on your money. Play sports, watch sports, win some money. There you go.
I'm going to throw some money on Tunisia. I didn't even know that was a country. I didn't even know that.
Tunisia?
Sounds delicious. I thought that was a food.
You're going to lose your money, Lewis.
Well, it's free $25. Who gives a shit?
I said Brazil, Germany. Of course, I'm going to throw England in there. I'll be rooting for England, but, we only won it once in 1966. We like to chant 2 world wars and 1 World Cup.
There you go. Not bad. Yeah. All right, that's it, guys. Go to betdsi.com one more time. Use the promo code ME25. Get your free wager. Get your 200% bonus if you put some cash down and help yourself out. All right, so look, let's talk about some more of these fights real quick.
So what do you want to... All right, listen, I guess we're going to talk about CM Punk versus Mike Jackson.
Yes. This was bad.
All right, okay, listen, we had a lengthy discussion about this last week. CM Punk, all right, he didn't look good. He didn't look good, right? But I'll tell you this right now, and again, you probably think I'm blowing him or something. I respect him. He went out there, he fought his ass off, his heart out. He took a lot of damage, and he kept coming forward. There were several times in that fight where CM Punk could have gave up. Could have curled up in a ball, but he didn't. And he chose to try and fight through it and try his best. And he saw the fight through to a decision. Now, he didn't fight. He didn't win. Whether or not he fights again remains to be seen. But if he never fights again, he can say, listen, I fought in the UFC in my hometown in Chicago on pay-per-view in front of 20,000 screaming fans that were all there, that all had my back. And it was a war. Okay, I got my ass kicked, but I went out there and I went down on my shield. And I gave it my best. And he'll have those memories, and he'll take it to his grave. He should be proud of himself in that respect. Now, was it a world-class display of mixed martial arts? No, it wasn't. But still, you have to respect that to a certain degree. Now, Lewis, what is your take on that?
I mean, no, look, dude. Yeah, he's fighting this guy, Mike Jackson, who's just a fucking... Neither of these guys have any business in the UFC.
Mike Jackson didn't look good at all. Mike Jackson looked terrible as well.
Terrible.
And Dana was really pissed at Mike Jackson afterwards. I don't know if you saw that. He was very pissed at Mike Jackson. He said the guy wasn't trying to finish. Wasn't trying to finish the fight and all this type of stuff. He said, if you're doing bolo punches from the guard, messing around and showboating, why don't you just try and finish the fight? So I don't think Mike Jackson's going to get another fight. In fact, Dana said his biggest mistake was not putting that on the Fight Pass prelims. But, of course, everything's 20/20 in hindsight. So going back to your conversation last week, Dana even said it himself. But, listen. We all know that the performance by CM Punk and Mike Jackson, it wasn't the best fight. It wasn't. But I do admire the desire on display from CM Punk. I do. I don't know his financial status. I'm sure it's pretty good. Being in the WWE for as long as he was. I'm sure he's got some money put away in the bank. He doesn't have to do this. He's a celebrity. He's well known. He's famous. He can make money a ton of different ways. But he chose to do this. And therefore, for that, he has my respect.
Look at Mike Jackson taking a picture of himself at the end of the fight, and he's just got this cockiness to him. Yeah, I guess he also said that he doesn't care what Dana White said. What did he call Dana White? He called him a clown.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah, that's a good way to get your foot in the door with the biggest. Yeah, there we go. Criticism from Dana White. Mike Jackson, criticism from little schoolgirl Dana White doesn't hurt my feelings. He called him a little schoolgirl.
Yeah, really smart once again. So go out there, mess around with CM Punk. Don't try and finish the fight, and then afterwards publicly berate your boss. Yeah, good, smart. That's definitely a wise move.
Yes. What do you do at that point? I mean, your biggest thing at this point is you fought CM Punk, but it doesn't mean that much. Look, we had Mickey Gall on the show plenty of times. He's a friend of the show. Beating CM Punk, that's a very short-lived accomplishment. You kind of have the heat of the weekend, and everyone's like, wow, it's a big high-profile fight. But when it's all said and done, people are going to look back at that and go, yeah, he had no business in there. So now how are you setting up your future for yourself, your family, your fight career? If he played it right, he probably could have gotten another fight.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm not sure of the legal technicalities of it. He probably will get another fight.
He has to. Do they have to give him another fight?
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, I haven't got the contract in front of me now, but it was always my understanding, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but it was always my understanding that if you lose a fight, of course, they can cut you. That's their choice, and that's black and white in the contract. But I think if you win, you get the right to the next one, and you're still under contract.
Well, you don't get cut, but do they have to actually sign you a fight? I think that's the difference. They can literally shelf you, technically, right?
Yeah, they could. They could do that, or they have to within so many months give you a fight if you're not injured or you're not retired or anything like that. I mean, for example, I just retired, but my contract now is suspended. It's suspended until it's just so I don't then go sign with Bellator.
Yeah,
whatever. So I'm still technically under contract with the UFC, which is fine. I did sign a contract, so I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what Mike Jackson's contract is. I'm sure, to a certain degree, they're all on an individual basis. But, maybe we'll see him again. Maybe we won't.
They just cut somebody who won for refusing fights. That's not true. They can cut anybody.
No, that was Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, and he was coming off a winning streak. Now he was
coming off a loss.
Lost
to Frankie Edgar. Then he turned down the fight with Zabit Nurmagomedov Sharipov, I think his name is. And he turned down the fight with him. So they kind of cut him. But now, I don't know. He obviously said, listen, I'll take the fight. And they're fighting each other.
Mike Harrington, professional broadcaster. Mike Harrington wants to chime in. Go.
They did it. They had a purge with Nikita Krylov, Misha Serkinov a few years ago.
Go fuck yourself. That you know these names off the top of your head. I hate you. I literally
Nikita Krylov, Misha Serkinov, light heavyweight fighters. I'm very, very familiar with them, Lewis. Jesus Christ, if you followed the sport that we talk about, you would also know. Listen, homework. Go away. Study the UFC roster. Take a look at them. Know their skill sets. And just do some fucking homework.
What a boring show this would be. If I was going, dude, do you remember Nikita Kurfuffles' first fight in the UFC? And
Krylov.
Are you fucking kidding me? Kurfuffles? You want me to talk about that asshole? Get the fuck out of here.
Back to Harrington with the intelligent input. Harrington, you were saying.
At the time when he was cut, released from his UFC contract, Nikita Krylov was a ranked UFC fighter who was coming off a win.
Wow. So they can.
Yeah, but there was a reason for that. What was the reason?
It was never actually revealed. They cut like 4 or 5 kind of higher-end prospect light heavyweights around the same time, and he was in that purge. So for whatever reason, they got rid of a bunch of guys.
All right, well, whatever.
Hold on. No. Let's see.
You're confident. You do whatever the fuck you want with it.
I'm not particularly upset. God willing, there's still opportunities after a couple of years. Krylov said in an interview with whoever. There was a stumbling block. In fact, the only thing is that the old contract ended. They wanted me to sign a new one. I did not want to. And because of this, the UFC did not give me a 4th fight. So, yeah, they wanted him to do a new contract. It wasn't exactly that he got cut. Yeah, we don't. No. Let's look this up because this is kind of interesting.
Well, that sounds like his contract expired. Okay, and they wanted to renew the contract. And when he said, okay, I'll renew the contract, but I want more money. And they said, well, unfortunately, the contract you were on is for this amount of money. We would like you to be on the same amount of money. He said no, and they said, okay, well, cheerio.
Yeah. They were like me. They were like, listen, Nikita Kurfuffles, get the fuck out of my office right now. Go back to Russia. go fucking fight in the cold. Go fight bears. Get the fuck out of my office.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, back to the fights.
So do you want to see CM Punk back in the UFC? Obviously the answer is no, but go ahead, Michael Bisping.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
No, I don't.
Finally.
Listen, his back was always against the wall because he is CM Punk. Okay, he's a very, very well-known, famous guy. So with his background, how is he going to go and fight in a small, tiny grassroots organization? A, they can't pay him any decent money. B, tons of people would flock to the stadium to watch him. So he had no choice but to really fight in the UFC. Like most people that don't have a following and aren't famous, they can go work their way up to the UFC. So he was kind of in a tricky situation. I'm not making excuses for him. It seems like I am. But He had his moment in the sun. He didn't prove it. He wasn't good enough. It is what it is. If he wants to carry on, he has to go and work his way up, fight some other organizations and try and get back. I don't make the fights. I'm not the matchmaker. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think what he could do, I mean, he could still do this to this day, is just do CM Punk fight promotions, do fights a few times a year, and then promote, smaller fights and do a regional thing. His name is big enough. You can hire a team that will run that. And I think that would be a smarter route for him than trying to compete with the best fighters in the world, which he can't even compete with not the best fighters in the world. Mike Jackson, when you look at what he did there, it wasn't like elite level. I wasn't like, oh my God. So we'll see what happens with those guys. Anything else? I mean, look, we saw Overeem get knocked out.
On the FS1 prelim headliner was Arlovsky versus Curtis Blades.
Oh, yeah.
Oof, man. I mean, Overeem looks good. He looks really good. He was light on his feet. Obviously, Curtis Blades, big guy, big, strong wrestler. Overeem had his hands low, anticipating Blades shooting in. Therefore, if you got your hands low, they're there for the underhooks to stop the takedown already. And he looked good to start with, but unfortunately, Blades got him down. Was it the second or third round, Harrington? I'm not sure. But he got him down, and, dude, he opened him up with like 4 or 5 elbows from the guard, and they were heavy, heavy elbows.
Brutal. Really, really brutal. And to be honest with you, everyone was complaining about that fight being put on the undercard because of CM Punk. But it was, it was round 3, 256 of round 3. Fucking really, really nasty. Curtis Blades, this is what happens though. These big heavyweights get these crazy knockouts, and then everyone's like, oh, he's the fucking next dude. We'll see what's up. Overeem, to be honest with you, he's sort of kind of fallen into like a gatekeeper status. Like if you beat Overeem, that's when people start really talking about you and looking at.
Yeah, but hold on. He was going into that fight ranked number 2. Prior to that, he fought Ngannou. Was it for the title? No, not for the title. It was like a title eliminator.
Yeah.
He got knocked out against Stipe. Listen, he was still the number 2 ranked heavyweight in the world, which isn't a bad place to be in. So calling him a gatekeeper, I think, is not warranted. It's a little unfair. Of course, he's lost some fights. That's his 12th fight. Pardon me. Excuse me. Too much coffee. That's his 12th fight by knockout, I believe, or TKO. So, that's a lot in MMA alone, not including his K1 or kickboxing career. So that's a lot of fights to lose by knockout. But, he's been around for a long, long time as well, fought the best in the world, and he looked good. He landed a good knee to the face of Curtis that could have potentially knocked him out. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It didn't. Listen, Curtis Blades is young, he's big, he's strong. Potential next contender for Stipe Miocic if Stipe gets past DC.
That fucking fight's coming up in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That just snuck up on us. I really hope that I'm over Fortnite by that time. What, Harrington? Were you typing something? What?
No, I was just saying Blades' only loss in the UFC is to Ngannou. And he was making a claim for having the next shot at heavyweight after the Stipe DC thing is settled. So I wanted to see if you thought Blades was ready.
And Blades is definitely matured since that first fight with Ngannou. He even said it himself that he was a little green back then. He's learned a lot. He's dedicated himself to training more. His body type has changed. He's learned a lot about diet and how to train. So I think that fight with Ngannou now, I'm not saying he would win, but it would certainly be more competitive and definitely different. So yeah, Curtis Blades, job well done. And we're going to give a quick shout out to Tai Tuivasa, Bam Bam Tuivasa. He's agreed to do the podcast, so we'll get him on.
Nice.
He said he'll do it if I'll do his podcast, so I'll reciprocate the favor. Bam Bam Tuivasa, exciting heavyweight, goes out there. 7 stoppages by KO, won all of his fights by stoppage. Obviously, last time he beat, Cyril Askear. I don't know him either. Beautiful knockout. But then he stepped up to fight Andrei Arlovsky, all-time veteran. Been around the sport forever, former champion. That's a big step up in competition. He didn't get the knockout. He didn't get the finish. He did get a unanimous decision win, a win that he deserved. Good fight, excellent performance. Well done, Bam Bam. And, of course, tried to do a shoey in Joe Rogan's shoe. Did you see that?
Yeah. You try to take a shoe. Is that what they call it in England?
They call it a shoey. So well, that's what they call it in Australia. We don't do it. They call it a shoey. And on like the Reebok outfits that people have, now they're doing personalized T-shirts. And Tai Tuivasa's is the silhouette of him doing a shoey, and on the shoey it has the Reebok logo, which is actually a pretty cool T-shirt.
That's great.
Honest.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. He goes. What they do is with the shoey, and if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize, but they all spit in it first. There's video of him online this weekend on Instagram. Several people.
Let's watch it. Here.
All spitting in his shoe. Then they pour beer in it, and then they down it. It's quite literally the most disgusting thing you've ever seen in your life.
Why do they spit in it? I thought it was just drinking.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, we did that for my buddy Big J's bachelor party. We had a hot bartender at Red Rock West on the West Side Highway poured liquor into her boot and had him drink it out of her boot, and it was great. It was awesome, But that's having a bunch of weird fucking Australians spit in your drink. First.
Well, you can see on his Instagram here, he's just doing a regular shoey, but I saw one. I don't know where it was, somewhere, and they're all spitting in it first. Maybe, press play. Let's have a look.
Good luck on Saturday night, bar. Wish we were there. All the boys from England. Shoey for the boys. Go.
Yeah, the spitting.
Ew.
The boys. Fucking scarlet. Beat them under.
Ew.
It's a very classy way to consume a drink. I don't see what the big deal is, Lewis.
Yeah, that's not. That's a fan of his. I guess they were sending him in for luck. Ugh. I
don't know why they do that. Why do they spit in it? Could somebody please explain? We're gonna ask him next week. I'm gonna hit him up. Yeah, man, that's gross. That's beyond gross. Let alone you're drinking out of someone's disgusting, sweaty shoe where their feet reside. And I'll just throw this out there: if you're the type of person that does shoeies, I don't know. I reckon you might have smelly feet.
Yeah, I recommend you might have some mouth diseases as well. Let's get real.
Absolutely. Certainly after everyone spits in it first and then you pour it into the beer into the shoe. Oh, could you imagine how that tastes? Oh, my God. But whatever. It takes all sorts. Just like, some people do shoeies. Some people don't talk shit on colleagues on social media. And some people just handle controversial dickheads the way they should be handled.
Different styles.
The world is full of very, very different people.
Different styles, my friend.
Different styles.
So I want to talk really quickly. My fight is officially set now, Michael Bisping.
Oh, God, here we go again.
No.
From the epic title fight of UFC 225 to Luis J. Gomez versus, what's his name? Danish O'Neill?
Ryan O'Neill. Danish and O'Neill is the podcast.
Oh, okay. So I heard they was trying to get out of the fight, Lewis. Is that correct?
He was trying to change the rules. He said that he thought that I said I didn't want to do ground and pound, which is just stupid.
That's your say. That's what you specialize in.
Dude. I'm not going to fucking take out one of my many weapons that I specialize in. No, the reality is I had suggested no elbows or knees to the face because we're going to break each other's jaws or noses in that case. We don't know what we're doing. This is fucking crazy.
Absolutely. That's a smart suggestion. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no money on the line. Why would you want to walk out of there? Yeah, with a broken nose or whatever. Knees and elbows to the face. Yeah, I like that.
There is money on the line. $1,000 goes to the winner.
Ooh.
Okay, all right, but still, you don't want to get your nose smashed in for $1,000.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I suggested no elbows or knees. He thought I was saying no ground and pound at all. And for me, neither of us know jiu-jitsu. I'm like, yeah, if anybody's going to catch a submission, it's going to be because you punch him in the face a few times while you're on the ground and then you catch a choke or something. Yeah, I think that's going to make it more exciting on the ground as well. And then it sort of became like we drew a line in the sand and he wouldn't give up and I wouldn't give up. We put it aside. We're doing the fucking fight now in Vegas. You're cornering me. You told me last week 100% that you're going to be in my corner.
Well, hold on. When is the fight?
Motherfucker.
I said, listen, in principle,
oh boy, here we go.
In theory,
here we go.
I would love to corner you.
Harrington, will you corner me at least? I need somebody. I need a friend.
Lewis, fair question. Allow me for asking, what is the date? And if I'm free, I'll be there.
I bet
Hold
you.
on. Is that not more than fair?
Can you do me a favor?
I will fly myself to Vegas on my own dime to corner you. Generally, if you have a cornerman, I have to fly them all myself, put them up in hotels, pay for them. Actually pay them, pay for their food, pay for the hotels, pay for the flights. I'll fly myself there if I'm free.
I can't.
If I'm free. What is the day?
I'm looking on the Timmy Coin website to make sure there's not a convention that you got to be at before we even tell you the dates.
What is the date?
The weekend of August 26th.
Okay, hold on. Allow me to fast forward. Now, I am going to be in Montana glamping in August at some point. I don't know when.
If you leave me to go glamping with your fucking family
listen, in August, I'm glamping with my family, and I will not miss that for anything. But as of right now, I'm looking at the calendar, and Sunday, the 26th, it appears that I'm open.
What about the 25th? Because it might be the 25th.
Well, the 25th, it appears that I'm open also. But let me tell you this, that's a long way off. And if something comes up that pays me, then I'm hoping to be doing a movie soon. I'm sorry, if the movie comes up, then I can't do it.
What's your rate?
As of right now, I'm open. and I'll do it, and I'll be there, and I'll be proud, and I'll be in your corner, and I'll give you advice, and I'll help you train. You're coming into town on Saturday. You said, "Hey, Mike, do you know of anywhere where I can train at the weekend?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, of course I do. Why don't you just be a man and ask what you want to ask? Mike, will you train me at the weekend?" Yes, I'll train you. I have UFC Gym Costa Mesa. I have the Ruka Training Center. I have a garage with a gym. I have a plethora of places, locations we could use, including the park with the hand pads. I will train you this Saturday, Lewis, and we'll try and get someone to film it.
Yes, we will. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not in my corner August 25th or 26th, I will fucking, I'm telling you, this is pretty crazy, dude. It's kind of a big deal. I've been bragging a little bit about how you're going to be in my corner. So we need to figure this out. Let me know your rate, okay?
No, I don't want paying. I will be there happily. I will fly myself there, or I will drive there. I will make a weekend of it. I will be there proudly, and I will give you my best.
Yeah, unless fucking Predator 5 calls and they have a fucking 3 lines for you in the background, then you'll fucking leave me to die.
Yes. This is not, Lewis, this is a bit of fun for you. It is not your career. If something that is going to further my acting endeavors, my career comes along, unfortunately, I got to put work first. But your little foray into fucking fighting other podcasters for a bit of fun, I can't go, "Oh, okay, I got to turn this down because fucking Louis J. Gomez is fighting some bum from New York in Vegas on something called Skankfest."
No, it's Ellis Mania.
Sorry. Oh, Ellis Mania. Sorry, pardon me. It's a big deal. I got to drop everything. Listen, I get it, Lewis. I'll be there. I'll help you.
Yeah.
And failing that, I'll be there in spirit.
Unless the made-for-TV Terminator movie calls and says they need a new fucking...
You're starting to sound like Colby Covington now. He was saying that Tyron Woodley makes these straight-to-DVD movies. Dude, I'm all about cinema releases. On that point, no. I need to pay. Do the plug.
I'll do the plugs. Go pay. I'll plug real quick. Guys, if you love the show, you should know that we have, how many episodes? 70, something like that?
67.
67 episodes available on demand in HD whenever you guys want to watch them. Every episode we've ever done of this show is available. We only have 15 on iTunes and the latest one on YouTube. But you can get the entire library on demand when you want it. Plus, get it a full day before it goes out for free on iTunes. GasDigitalNetwork.com is the website. Use the promo code BYM. You get a 14-day free trial. You get $1.50 off the membership. So it's just $7 a month. We have 15 podcasts on the network, including Legion of Skanks, The Josta Show with Jamie Josta, Lisa Ann Experience with former adult entertainer, actually current adult entertainer, Lisa Ann. She's back. Go to GasDigitalNetwork.com. Promo code is BYM. We also got a great live chat. We also have message boards. I know a lot of people don't like listening to the ads on the show, so all the episodes are ad-free and uncensored, so you get access to all that. And best of all, it helps out the show. And go to iTunes right now and leave us a 5-star ranking and positive review, motherfuckers. Make us the #1 sports podcast. We don't fuck around.
We do not fuck around at all. So there you go. What were we talking about? I'll be there, Lewis. If I'm free, I'll be there. That's what I say. I'm a man of my word. If I'm free, I will be there. Okay. What else you want to talk about? What's on the notes?
Is there anything else that's interesting this week? What is it, Harrington? We got we have some questions that came in too, but anything else? I really think that's it.
I'm doing this contender series tomorrow. Man, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of research. Got a lot of respect for the guys that do it every weekend. Like you, John Annex, and this isn't me trying to kiss John Annex arse now. But I tell you what, it's a pain in the ass. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of watching tape, a lot of stuff, a lot of work, a lot of printing things off and punching holes. I feel like an office assistant lately. I'm putting things in a binder and all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. Finally getting organized.
Oh, I got to say this also. He's such a Harrington's such a good worker. I got to do this. He wrote, "What's it going to take to get a hammer fisting plug?" This is the podcast that Harrington does with Ricky Bones from SiriusXM, who used to be our boss at SiriusXM.
Ricky Bones. I like Ricky Bones. All right, listen, hammer fisting with Mike Harrington and Ricky Bones. Check it out. I'm actually going to take a listen myself, Harrington.
They got a good show, dude. That was my first podcast ever. I started it.
You're downloading it right now, right, champ?
Yeah.
No, I am. I'm looking at it now. My hair's all messing up at the back. Shannon's texting me and telling me, he's like, "Yes, I know."
Perfect.
Hair and makeup.
Shannon, I'm surprised she's even here today. She was fucked up last night. It was her birthday. By the way, happy birthday to Shannon, guys.
Oh, Shannon's birthday. What the hell, Shannon? I know you should never ask a lady, but fuck it.
I don't
How
care.
old?
36.
Let's see the Shannon cam.
36.
It's rough today.
Let's
I don't know
see.
if you want to see the Shannon cam.
There we go.
Let's have a look.
I'm a
There we
mess.
go. There she is, the birthday girl. Happy birthday. What'd you do last night?
We had a gas digital get together, and
Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
would you have flown in for that? I can't pay
Well,
for you.
you know, I would have made as much effort to be there as I will do for Lewis's fight.
It's fucking over. It's over. Yeah, she ended up at one point I just walked in and she was just like in the corner shaking like a mouse. I'm not going to say the illicit things that they were doing, but let's just say that they were fucking having quite the party.
Yeah,
All right. Okay. Well, I'm good. I'm glad you enjoyed.
it was
I'm
fun.
glad you enjoyed. Well, happy birthday from all of us. I believe you me.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shannon, what do you want? We got to get her a gift.
I'm good.
What do you want,
If you
Shannon?
could have any gift, Shannon, what would it be? Anything.
A week paid vacation to Hawaii.
Is that where you go?
I think Lewis and Ralph can arrange that. The amount of money they're making, these fancy new studios.
We're
You guys are rolling it. Lewis, you told me last week you've got more money than you know what to do with. Fly the woman to fucking Hawaii.
First of all, we're flying her to Vegas for my fight. She goes, is there a reason that I can be there? And I was like, yeah, I guess.
Yay.
So we're going to fly her to Vegas for the fight for no reason at all. No reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
We changed this girl's life. You know what? She was a fucking stripper in Staten Island 6 months ago. She's a goddamn podcast producer now.
Jesus Christ, I think I'd rather be a stripper.
All right, listen, let's get some of these questions going. And we're going to be in studio next week together. Are you able to get the LA studio on
Yes,
Monday?
I will send a message right now. But hold on. For the Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to be sure.
What happened?
Nothing happened. I just want to make sure
There's
because I'm
something
not
going
going
on?
to drive up to fucking LA.
Oh, he's going to
But
try to
yeah.
make me do it in person and pre-tape it over the weekend in Orange County.
No. We'll do it Monday. We'll do it Monday at the studio. It'll be way better.
And so, I purchased a new piece of equipment, which is a camera that you could plug the microphones directly into, like nice XLR camera or a nice.
Well, hold on. I do have family here as well. Can we not do it at my house like we normally do, or would you
Yeah.
rather do it in the studio?
Well, no. I would do it at your house if you want to. I'm going to be there anyway. We could find an hour where the kids are playing or whatever. I'm bringing my son. He's very excited, dude. He's very excited to meet your son. If you ask my son right now, I was like, what are we doing when we land? We're going to your friend's house, and he's got a son named Lucas, and he's got a pool. It's very cute.
Well, Lucas knows all about James. He's very excited. Lucas, James, Bella, and Delilah. It's going to be like a crash here. Are all going to be in the same room, Lewis. So they're all. Lucas is very, very excited. We've figured out the sleeping arrangements. You're all good. It's going to be good, man. We're excited. We've got lots of people coming over. We're going to have a big barbecue Saturday. Yeah.
They're going to be sleeping in the fucking yard. I know what's going on here. It's like, it's great, man.
Under the stars. It's Orange County. It's fucking warm. You know what I mean? It's 75 degrees at night with the stars. What more do you want? Come on.
All right, let's get some.
All right, let's do some questions.
Let's get some questions going. If you guys want to join the conversation, shoot us an email, bym@gasdigitalnetwork.com. And we always pick a few to end the show with. And this is it. These are the questions. So this one is from Andrew from Buffalo. There we go. We got an American finally. Hello, Lewis and Mike. I have just a couple questions for Mike regarding his acting career. One, now that you will have more time to focus on your acting career rather than your career in the cage, do you see yourself focusing more on serious action film roles, or are you going to try to branch out into other genres such as comedy? And then secondly, I'm a fan of Iko Uwais and Scott Adkins and their roles in movies such as the Raid series or Undisputed series. Obviously, you'll be starring in Triple Threat with these guys. So I was wondering if you could share an experience working with these guys, or if you had any interesting stories with other action film actors who you have worked with. Thank you, Andrew from Buffalo. Great question, Andrew. Mike, take it away.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. I mean, obviously that is where a lot of my attention is going to go now. I'm going to try and get a career acting. Of course, it's very, very, it's a very competitive industry. Everyone wants to do that. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Tons of people want to do it. So it's hard. I'm going to give it a shot. If I don't do it, whatever. At least I say I tried. I've got a great agent over at Gersh, Mike Stout, big up. So far things are going well. Got a few things lined up. got a movie coming out soon, Triple Threat, the one that he was talking about with Eco Ways and Scott Adkins, not to mention a few other people. That's going to be a great movie. If you love martial arts, you got to check this one out. Great fight scenes. What was the question? What was the second part? Any stories I can share? Not really, but I will say this, that just the nicest people. Scott Adkins, great guy. Jar White, amazing. Tony Jar is just fucking awesome. Eco Ways, again, one of the nicest people you could ever wish to meet. So I'm very, very fortunate. So, yeah, watch your space. But there you go.
All right, next question is from Chris Mieja. He says, I wanted to know how Bisping feels about Jorge Masvidal calling him racist, but being the so-called best friend of Colby Covington, who's playing the quote-unquote meathead pro-Trump bigot type of heel. And also, P.S., what is Bisping's favorite rapper? So, yeah, what do you think about that? Masvidal being a little bit of a hypocrite?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that he's a hypocrite, but I'm glad someone asked me about that, actually, because he does, Masvidal is going around trying to tell people that I'm a racist against Latinos, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, for one, Lewis.
He's letting me sleep in your yard.
Say again?
You're letting me sleep in your backyard.
Exactly. No. You're in the garage. You're good. Don't worry about it. I've got bloody Puerto Rican sleeping in my garage. What are you talking about? Yeah, but listen, that's not a nice thing to be going around telling people. And unfortunately, I've had a couple of comments on my Instagram. Or you're racist against Latinos. I'm like, come on, couldn't be further from the truth. And that's just a nasty, dirty thing to say about somebody. It's just despicable. But really,
spick. You said spick. I heard you.
Yeah. Despicable. Lewis is despicable.
I'm very spickable. That's a good way to describe me.
You are spickable. You could be a spick. He's spickable.
All they're going to do is cut this clip of you calling me a spick, and now it's confirmed.
It is despicable. You're not even spickable, Lewis. You're despicable. So, yeah, you don't even qualify as a Latino. No, that's a horrible thing to be saying about somebody. It really is. But I'm not surprised coming from Jorge Masvidal, because that's the type of person he is. I think he's a low-class individual.
Well, why would you do that to your fans?
I know I'm not, and I think everybody that knows me knows I'm not, so I'm good with it.
Can I tell you the irresponsibility on Jorge Masvidal's side? It's like, dude, that's fine. You want to talk shit. It's one thing to talk shit. And we've all, we've watched fighters through the years talk shit. They say very personal shit. They get in people's heads. They fuck with people. But it's actually more fucked up to your fans because you have a lot of young fucking Latin kids or black people or whatever it is that look up to you that are kind of like listening to you as a leader. And whether you want to be a role model or not, Jorge Masvidal, you're a role model to these people and you're tweeting stuff out and you're being dishonest because you know that Michael Bisping's not a racist person. You know that he's not a guy that fucking, I mean, dude, you're literally.
Well, hold on. Maybe in his mind, maybe he thinks I am.
I don't think
we
so.
We don't actually have a relationship. I don't know Jorge Masvidal on a personal level whatsoever. I've never had an actual proper conversation with him about anything. So maybe he thinks I am. Maybe he hears me talking shit, whatever. And I don't know. I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I think it comes from you ripping up.
That. I'll tell you right now, he's wrong. Utterly and completely wrong. But go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. It all comes from you ripping up the
Cuban flag.
The Cuban flag. So it's this stupid thing where you happen to have this little paper flag, and now that he's holding on to this thing where I'm telling you right now, this is a fact. If Romero was from Canada and you had a Canadian flag in front of you, you would have ripped up the Canadian flag. It was the moment. It's not about whatever. It's almost like this, dude. Like you want to hurt somebody.
No, for sure, absolutely, 100%. If it was Canadian, American, British, Scottish, French, whatever, and I had their flag, I would have ripped it up and thrown it at them. Let me tell you the story about how that happened. I've probably said it before, but one of the ladies that used to work on the UFC team at Fox, I don't know where it came from, but she actually had like a small miniature paper flag of Cuba. And right before I went down there, she handed it to me, like this miniature Cuban flag. Hold on, I need to come this way. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I put it down. And then at the end of the third round, I think it was, Joel, he was leaning on the fence. He was tired. He was taking some breaths. And we made eye contact. He went, rah, and stuck his tongue out and said some shit. I'm like, what? And there was a Cuban flag there. So I ripped it up and threw it at him. There was no, I'm going to take a Cuban flag down to make a real stance against the Cuban people because I can't stand Cubans. No, not at all. I'm not racist against Cubans. I'm not racist against anybody. So You know, it is what it is. Say whatever you like. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh, by the way, I think it's Jason Perillo's birthday today.
It is? Oh, well, happy birthday, Jason. How do you know that?
Because
Are you scrolling Facebook as I'm speaking?
I'm not on Facebook.
It pops up on your timeline?
I'm not on Facebook anymore. Thank you very much. And no, because I was looking up Jason Perillo's background because I know how close you and Jason are. I wasn't sure if he was Hispanic.
Oh, no.
He looks it. But then I was like, he looks a little Hispanic now.
You better not call me again, then. Jesus Christ. I don't tarred with that brush. Hanging around with despicable
the Despicables.
Jesus Christ.
But I guess, the 11th is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Jason Perillo, if you're listening. Well done, my friend.
Well, I was going to go on to how close you are with this Hispanic guy, but you don't even know it's his fucking birthday, so forget this whole point that I was about to make.
Exactly. We got any other questions?
One more question. This is from, who's your favorite rapper? He wanted to know as well.
Oh, your favorite rapper? Probably, no. Ice Cube, Biggie, one of those two, probably.
Okay.
I used to love Ice Cube back in the day when I was a kid.
Well,
these days, probably Biggie, I would say.
Yeah, that's weird because you're so racist.
Jay-Z.
You appreciate those black guys so much.
Eminem.
Vanilla Ice.
I thought I better throw a white one in.
Vanilla Ice.
Fucking love Vanilla Ice.
Moby. I don't know. I can't name more.
Snow.
There we go.
Informer.
You know, playing. I like your boom boom down.
Favorite one. Anyway.
Last one.
Yeah. Hold on. I need a Hispanic. Oh, Cypress Hill.
All right. This is from Adam. Adam from Brighton, England wants to know. Hey boys, Mike, I want to congratulate you on your fantastic career and more importantly, your incredible hairline. Lewis, not so much. Go fuck yourself. My question.
Yeah. I've got to say, Lewis, you're wearing the hat today. And scrolling through the comments on YouTube, a lot of the comments are directed to the shine on your forehead.
Yeah. Well, I got, to be honest with you, the lights in here are a little bit bright. We got to soften them. And whenever I shave my head, it gets very shiny. But, I'm not going to hate, guys. You guys can hate on my fucking hairline all you want. A lot of women think bald men are sexy. It's the fact.
Hey, I wasn't. It was merely an observation, Lewis. But you're wearing a hat today, so job well done. Thank you for that. Question.
My question to both of you is simple. If you can go back in time when you started out your career, what is the one piece of advice you would give your younger self? And then he's got a quick little story for us afterwards that I will read. But what is the one piece of advice that you would give to young Michael Bisping? You're starting out, thinking to going into the UFC. This is it. You're ready to start your career in mixed martial arts. What is the one piece of advice you like, dude? Fucking trust me on this. Do this.
I don't know. That's a hard one to come up with something right now like that. I mean, there's so many things that I kind of regret that I would have done differently. Not putting on so much weight in between fights. Maybe not enjoying life as much in between fights. Maybe don't listen to the haters. Be true to yourself. I don't know. Just. I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out, to be honest. Of course, you'd like to change things. I don't know. I'll come back to that next week. Let me think about that. That's a difficult question for me to answer. Of course, I'm far from perfect, as we all found out at the weekend. All these fucking pricks talking shit about me. But, I'll come back to that one. My apologies, but thank you for the question, Adam.
Yeah. My piece of advice that I would give to myself, I think it would be to really just be yourself. Stop trying to be other people. Stop emulating other people. Stop looking at the success of others and trying to compare that to your own success. I would have said, and this is what I've learned, doing comedy for 13 or 14 years now, and being fairly successful in broadcasting in this, it would have been, you're going to get there faster because people are going to like you. They're not going to like the thing that you're trying to present because that's not really you. And as soon as when I'm comfortable and people kind of get like what I do, that's when I'm at my best. And I feel like I spent 10 years at least, 10 years trying to emulate other people and trying to like look at what other people were doing, going, I got to do that. And the second I gave up on that and I just said, hey, dude, I'm going to literally get up every day and do what I want to do and really try to make myself happy creating, then everything blew up. The money and the happiness and the fans and all that other stuff, that was just a natural byproduct of me being happy about what I was creating.
Yeah, that's interesting. From a comedy perspective, I can totally see that 100%. So, and to a certain degree in the fighting world, similar thing as well. Just be yourself. But I think one piece of advice I would give would be, believe it or not, to everyone's shock, would be believe in myself more. I think even still, at the start of my UFC career, I wasn't sure if I truly belonged there. I don't mean in terms of fighting ability, but just like, there wasn't many English there. I don't know. I always thought I was kind of on borrowed time, just believe in yourself more, to be honest, but yeah, difficult question to answer, but yeah, many things I would certainly change if I could.
And then he says, just a quick true story. Just over a year ago, I was lounging around in my hotel room in Barcelona, listening to Believe You Me. Right
Good.
At the point when the intro kicked in, conceive, believe, achieve, my wife threw a positive pregnancy test on my lap. A year later, we have a wonderful little boy called Felix. Shout out to Felix.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Congratulations. Shout out to Felix, 1 year old. Beautiful. Cool name, by the way. Cool.
Yeah. And then, PS or PPS. I know you are partial to some dance music. My new album just dropped. You can check it out here. We'll tweet it out. fanlink.2/presence. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Much love to
Adam. All right. Well, good luck with the album. I'll take a listen and give you my thoughts. But I guess that's the end of the show. Once again, congrats, Robert Whittaker. Congrats, Yoel Romero. Great fight. Guess I gotta speak to John Anik at some point.
I want to get him on next week.
Might be a little bit awkward. I love John Anik. We're good.
He was so good on the show. He was maybe my favorite guest we've ever had on the show.
No, John is awesome. John Anik's the man. He really is.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's something wrong with you if you don't like John Anik. Yeah. It is what it is. He's trying to give me advice. All right. Well, I guess that's that. Shannon, happy birthday for yesterday again. Lewis, I will see you. When do you get in? Friday?
I get in Friday morning. Yeah. Or afternoon.
So hold on. So you're at my house Friday, Saturday, Sunday, correct?
I leave Sunday. I'm going to LA proper on Sunday. I'm going to do Father's Day with my son. Bring him down to Hollywood. Just fucking. He's 5. It's my first
so
Father's.
My house Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
And then Sunday you leave.
Yes.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Send me your flight details. And all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we made eye contact. He went, and stuck his tongue out and said some shit. I'm like, what? And there was a Cuban flag there, so I ripped it up and threw it at him. There was no, I'm going to take a Cuban flag down to make a real stance against the Cuban people because I can't stand Cubans. No, not at all. I'm not racist against Cubans. I'm not racist against anybody. So, it is what it is. Say whatever you like. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Oh, by the way, I think it's Jason Perillo's birthday today.
It is? Oh, well, happy birthday, Jason. How do you know that?
Because
Are you scrolling Facebook as I'm speaking?
I'm not on Facebook.
It pops up on your timeline?
I'm not on Facebook anymore. Thank you very much. And no, because I was looking up Jason Perillo's background because I know how close you and Jason are. I wasn't sure if he was Hispanic.
No.
He looks it. But then I was like, he looks a little Hispanic now.
You better not call me again, then. Jesus Christ. I don't want tarred with that brush. Hanging around with the
Despicables.
Jesus Christ.
But I guess, the 11th is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Jason Perillo, if you're listening. Well done, my friend.
Well, I was going to go on to how close you are with this Hispanic guy, but you don't even know it's his fucking birthday, so forget this whole point that I was about to make.
Exactly. We got any other questions?
One more question. This is from, who's your favorite rapper? He wanted to know as well.
Oh, your favorite rapper? Probably, no. Ice Cube, Biggie, one of those two, probably.
Okay.
I used to love Ice Cube back in the day when I was a kid.
Well,
these days, probably Biggie, I would say.
Yeah, that's weird because you're so racist.
Jay-Z.
You appreciate those black guys so much.
Eminem.
Vanilla Ice.
I thought I better throw a white one in.
Vanilla Ice.
Fucking love Vanilla Ice.
Moby. I don't know. I can't name more.
Snow.
There we go.
Informer.
You know, plane. I like your boom boom down.
Anyway.
Last one.
Yeah. Hold on. I need a Hispanic. Cypress Hill.
All right. This is from Adam from Brighton, England wants to know. Hey boys, Mike, I want to congratulate you on your fantastic career and more importantly, your incredible hairline. Lewis, not so much. Go fuck yourself. My question.
Yeah, I've got to say, Lewis, you're wearing the hat today. And scrolling through the comments on YouTube, a lot of the comments are directed to the shine on your forehead.
Yeah. Well, I got, to be honest with you, the lights in here are a little bit bright. We got to soften them. And whenever I shave my head, it gets very shiny. But you know what? I'm not gonna hate, guys. You guys can hate on my fucking hairline all you want. A lot of women think bald men are sexy. The fact.
Hey, I wasn't. It was merely an observation, Lewis. But you're wearing a hat today, so job well done. Thank you for that. My question to both of you is simple. If you can go back in time when you started out your career, what is the one piece of advice you would give your younger self? And then he's got a quick little story for us afterwards that I will read. But what is the one piece of advice that you would give to young Michael Bisping? You're starting out, thinking to going into the UFC. This is it. You're ready to start your career in mixed martial arts. What is the one piece of advice you like, dude? Fucking trust me on this. Do this. I don't know. That's a hard one to come up with something right now like that. I mean, there's so many things that I kind of regret that I would have done differently. Not putting on so much weight in between fights. Maybe not enjoying life as much in between fights. Maybe don't listen to the haters. Be true to yourself. I don't know. Just. I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out, to be honest. Of course, you'd like to change things. I don't know. I'll come back to that next week. Let me think about that. That's a difficult question for me to answer. Of course, I'm far from perfect, as we all found out at the weekend. All these fucking pricks talking shit about me. But, I'll come back to that one. My apologies, but thank you for the question, Adam.
Yeah. My piece of advice that I would give to myself, I think that, I think it would be to really just be yourself. Stop trying to be other people. Stop emulating other people. Stop looking at the success of others and trying to compare that to your own success. I would have said, and this is what I've learned, doing comedy for 13 or 14 years now, and being fairly successful in broadcasting in this, it would have been, you're going to get there faster because people are going to like you. They're not going to like the thing that you're trying to present because that's not really you. And as soon as when I'm comfortable and people kind of get like what I do, that's when I'm at my best. And I feel like I spent 10 years at least, 10 years trying to emulate other people and trying to like look at what other people were doing, going, I got to do that. And the second I gave up on that and I just said, hey, dude, I'm going to literally get up every day and do what I want to do and really try to make myself happy creating, then everything blew up. The money and the happiness and the fans and all that other stuff, that was just a natural byproduct of me being happy about what I was creating.
Yeah, that's interesting. From a comedy perspective, I can totally see that 100%. So, and to a certain degree in the fighting world, similar thing as well. Just be yourself. But I think one piece of advice I would give would be, believe it or not, to everyone's shock, would be believe in myself more. I think even still, at the start of my UFC career, I wasn't sure if I truly belonged there. I don't mean in terms of fighting ability, but just like, there wasn't many English there. I don't know. I always thought I was kind of on borrowed time, just believe in yourself more, to be honest, but difficult question to answer. But many, many things I would certainly change if I could.
And then he says, just a quick true story. Just over a year ago, I was lounging around in my hotel room in Barcelona, listening to Believe You May. Right at the point when the intro kicked in, conceive, believe, achieve, my wife threw a positive pregnancy test on my lap. A year later, we have a wonderful little boy called Felix. Shout out to Felix.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Congratulations. Shout out to Felix, 1 year old. Beautiful. Cool name, by the way. Cool.
Yeah. And then, PS or PPS. I know you are partial to some dance music. My new album just dropped. You can check it out here. We'll tweet it out. fanlink.2/presence. Oh,
nice.
Much love to Adam.
All right. Well, good luck with the album. I'll take a listen and give you my thoughts. But I guess that's the end of the show. Once again, congrats, Robert Whittaker. Congrats, Yoel Romero. Great fight. Guess I gotta speak to John Anik at some point.
I want to get him on next week.
Might be a little bit awkward. I love John Anik. We're good.
He was good on the show. He was maybe my favorite guest we've ever had on the show.
No, John is awesome. John Anik's the man. He really is.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's something wrong with you if you don't like John Anik. Yeah. It is what it is. He's trying to give me advice. All right. Well, I guess that's that. Shannon, happy birthday for yesterday again. Lewis, I will see you. When do you get in? Friday?
I get in Friday morning. Yeah. Or afternoon.
So hold on. So you're at my house Friday, Saturday, Sunday, correct?
I leave Sunday. I'm going to L.A. proper on Sunday. I'm going to do Father's Day with like my son. Bring him down to Hollywood. Like just fucking. He's 5. It's my first
so
Father's.
My house Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
And then Sunday you leave.
Yes.
All right. Good to know. Good to
Yeah.
know. Send me your flight details. And all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. God,
He was so good on the show. He was maybe my favorite guest we've ever had on the show.
No, John is awesome. John Anik's the man. He really is.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's something wrong with you if you don't like John Anik. Yeah. It is what it is. He's trying to give me advice. All right. Well, I guess that's that. Shannon, happy birthday for yesterday again. Lewis, I will see you. When do you get in? Friday?
I get in Friday morning, yeah. Or afternoon.
So hold on. So you're at my house Friday, Saturday, Sunday, correct?
I leave Sunday. I'm going to LA proper on Sunday. I'm going to do Father's Day with like my son. Bring him down to Hollywood. Like just fucking. He's 5. It's my first
so
Father's.
My house Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
And then Sunday you leave.
Yes.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Send me your flight details. And all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Good to know. Send me your flight details. And all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.